Everything is energy. And when you really understand this and think in terms of the metaphysical nature of reality, of energy, of your frequency, then everything changes. And in fact, everything is attracted to you because you are at the source. You are the creator of this reality. So when you think about this, that everything is energy, which science proves, when you take anything that you see around you and you put it under a microscope, what you find is that it's made of atoms, made of particles. You go deeper and deeper, and everything is matter and energy. Those two things are synonymous. And when you look at the energy, what you see is a certain kind of pattern or a certain construct. Now, this construct or this pattern of energy is determined by the observer, right? So it is the imagination that is viewing that energy that creates the energy to be whatever it's seen to be, right? So everything that you see around you, whether it's a tree, whether it's grass, whether it's a bird, right, in its purest raw form, it is most essentially energy, pure energy. And when you think about it like this, we've all probably seen the album cover of the Pink Floyd album, right, where it's the prism with the pure white light coming through, and on the other side you have the rainbow. This is a very simplistic understanding of what this actually is, because in truth, everything is that pure white light. And when it's refracted through the prism of your imagination, of your mind, it becomes the experience, the appearance, the manifestation that you see and experience. So the energy is just energy. And it's not distinct in truth. It's not really this or that. It is just pure raw potential, pure possibility. It is the observer, it is the mind, it is the imagination that creates that to be whatever it says it is, whatever it sees it to be, whatever it believes it as. So this again is another scientific theory or proven model, which is understanding this, right? The observer effect. And this is where they've taken light and put it through a double split against a wall, and they've measured to see what the result is. Is light a particle or is it a wave? And they see that it's a particle. Oh no, they see it's a wave. They see it's a particle. They see it's a wave. And actually, it's simultaneously both, because it is pure energy. And it is the observer, right, that creates the result. What's really interesting here is that upon reflecting on those results of that experiment, they found that even the results that were recorded changed. I think they called this the quantum eraser effect, where when you looked at the results from test A, which were once a particle, now you see that they are a wave. Because again, the fundamental truth that the observer is what's creating reality, creating perception, that even applies when you talk about the results. Okay, so even when something is documented, it is the observer that is creating whatever is being perceived, even in those results that were quote unquote documented. So how does this apply to your life? How does this apply to your business? How does this apply to your relationships? How does this apply to whatever it is that you're creating? Well, it applies very fundamentally. It is the foundation. It is the source of everything that you create and experience, because you, the you that you are to yourself, this sense of self, which is your imagination, it is your self-concept, it is your frequency. And you see, your frequency is that prism, which is refracting the pure white light of the universe, of life itself, into your experience, that rainbow effect of your experience. And so what determines that refraction, what determines that construct of yourself, of that prism, are your beliefs, are your thoughts, are your feelings, right? It is your perspective. It is your self-concept. That is the construct that this pure energy, this pure light is being filtered through to be your experience. Now, you can try to change the energy. You can try to change the furthest out effect of what's being mirrored to you. But really, it's futile because you're just like rearranging furniture in a room. You can make it look different temporarily, maybe even get a slightly different feeling of it, but really you're not changing anything because you're not going to the source. When you change the one thing that is at the source, that is creating, that is responsible for creating through your imagination, through your perception, right? Through your observation, then everything reflects that. Because this is an attraction-based universe. Like attracts like. And so this is the essence of the law of attraction, that when you become that which you seek, when you align yourself vibrationally with the quality of that desired reality, of that outcome, of that specific manifestation, then it has no choice but to be attracted, quote unquote, or reflected back to you in your experience, in your reality. And so the vibrational quality here that I'm referring to are the particular qualities of being that create or amount to your frequency. And frequency is merely the state of being that you occupy most frequently. So your state of being is the complex of your thoughts and feelings and beliefs, your assumptions, your expectations, everything that you are being, right? Everything that you are believing. And so when you get into the root of this construct, of this concept of yourself, then you work with the innermost workings of the universe, of your universe, to create from the inside out what you truly desire to manifest and experience. And so the vibrational quality here is really the sense, the energetic match to that form, to that experience, to that relationship, right? Whether it's a partner that you desire, the love that you feel in that relationship is a pattern, a vibrational pattern within you as a state of being that attracts that experience, that reality. And this is the essence of believe it and you will see it. We often say that we will see it when we believe it, but it's totally backwards when you understand and think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, which is a famous quote by Tesla when he talked about understanding and mastering the universe, is that these three things are key. And so if you've seen these tables of sand, right, that are vibrating with a particular vibrational frequency and emanating a certain pattern, a geometric pattern, this is exactly the same idea, right? When you set the table's vibration to be a certain hertz, say 440 or whatever other hertz you want it to be, it will take on the shape of a different pattern. In other words, the reality that it becomes and it reflects is dependent upon the vibrational tone that it is emanating as. And this is the same for your life. This is the same for your success. This is the same for your abundance. This is the same for your relational experience. Is that whatever you are being is what you will be experiencing. In that sense, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. You get what you're being. And so, again, this vibrational quality, which is the choosing of a thought, the elevating of a thought, a higher feeling thought, a better feeling thought, right? A belief that is more expansive, more limitless, right? More freeing in its sense of yourself, right? We have all these funny beliefs of like money doesn't grow on trees, or, you know, what comes easy is not worth having, right? All these limiting beliefs. And when you feel into the quality of that belief, it feels dense, it feels heavy, right? You can notice it in your body. Your body is the main receptor or interpreter of these energies, right? And your body has the ability to discern what is true and what is not true. There's been many examples of this. Dr. David Hawkins did many experiments and demonstrations of this. And the muscles in your body will tense or relax based on what is true. So this is a very innate, inherent barometer, you could say, of energy for you, of what's true for you. And in a way, it's your emotional guidance system, so that you can discern for yourself what is true, right? And then you can use that to navigate your life. This is intuition, this is your inner intelligence, this is your inspiration. And when you get out of your own way by up-leveling your beliefs, by working from the inside out to change your self-concept, to illuminate the shadows of your mind, to make the unconscious conscious, you liberate yourself, you master your reality, and you become the creator of your life from the inside out, from a metaphysical point of view, by understanding that energy, frequency, and vibration creates your reality. And so the quality of your beliefs, the quality of your thoughts, not that there's any better or worse or good or bad or right or wrong, but in terms of the vibrational scale, there is, in a way, a better and a worse, because there is a higher frequency thought, a lower frequency thought, a higher vibrational belief, a lower vibrational belief. And when you use the discernment and the intelligence of your body to feel what feels good, what feels true, you will know for yourself what's aligned, what's inspiring, what's that next level. And you see, this is this last point that I really want to touch on now, is that I see many people on YouTube talking about this understanding of this vibrational reality, and that everything is energy from the point of view of being more doing, right? More control, more effort. But in truth, this is all so natural, so effortless, so inherent, that when you really get this, you know that the highest frequency that you have available is your true, authentic self. Because this is what is the resonance. When something resonates for you, it's vibrating at the same rate as who you truly are. And that feels good, that feels in alignment. And so actually, what's much more simple than trying to control, trying to do, trying to use effort to create a reality that we desire, actually, the greatest reality that we could ever imagine comes to us naturally when we are in alignment with who we truly are. So this is not about doing more. It's not about becoming more. This is not about developing or improving yourself to be more than you are. It's about uncovering who you truly are. I often talk about the I am. I am that I am, that pure white light of your beingness. Right? And when your mind, when your imagination is pure and true, then what happens is that pure white light of your true self is refracted through the authentic original blueprint that you were created to be. And that's a unique frequency. That is a one-of-a-kind vibrational truth that attracts unto you everything that is for you effortlessly. You see, we live in a world where we're convinced and being conditioned and programmed to believe that we have to do more to earn more. That earning is something that's actually normal. It's completely not normal. We have been brainwashed to believe that we have to do a lot to get what we want, but actually everything that we want comes to us naturally when we are in alignment with who we truly are. And you know that frequency, you know that feeling when it is pure ease, pure joy, pure relaxation. And this idea of relaxation, which is something that I've talked about a lot, it's the essence of being chill, right? But we have even turned that into something that we have to earn, that we have to earn relaxation. When we think about relaxation, we often think about lying on the bed, doing absolutely nothing, right? And this is generally because we're so burnt out, we're so exhausted by having to do so much in our world, trying to prove, trying to earn. But this is totally backwards. Relaxation is our natural state. And actually, in a state of relaxation, of being chill, you can do so much. You are capable of doing so much because it comes naturally and effortlessly out of your true being. So being and doing are not in conflict. They are synonymous. But when you're trying to do more, to be more, then you're doing it backwards. But when you are being your true self, you are capable of doing a lot And that kind of doing, that inspired action, which comes from the alignment with your true self, attracts everything that you want and more. And so if you're still with me and you're interested in exploring all of this in more detail over several weeks with me and a select group of a few individuals, a few creators, entrepreneurs, artists, guides, then comment vortex down below, because I'm opening up this vortex in the next few weeks. It's going to be a kind of intimate mastermind group for us to go deep into who we truly are, to align with that true self, and to manifest that desired reality which comes from your soul, and to build a legacy through your life's work, to be of service, to be in alignment with your life's calling and purpose, and to be fulfilled beyond your wildest dreams. So if you're interested in this, comment vortex down below, and I'll send you more information about this upcoming mastermind.